Of September 6th of 2016, and we'll go ahead and begin. The first item on our agenda is to consider approving a letter of solidarity for Black Lives Matter. And on your agenda, we've been provided with the statement that was put together by last night by Commissioner Larson with the help of members of the public. The letter that we have is, would you like for me to read the letter so that it can be part of the record?
Sure.
Okay. This is reference Black Lives Matter to the Lawrence community. The city of Lawrence is one of the cities in the United States that was founded on principles of freedom and acceptance. We have a long history of celebrating our commonalities as a community while recognizing and respecting the differences that contribute to our varied histories, stories, and heritage. We also wish to recognize that our local community has seen significant racial tension resulting from or contributing to incidents in Lawrence history which cannot be ignored as a part of a greater conversation about race relations. As the elected body of the City of Lawrence, we recognize that racism, sexism, and discrimination have affected people of color in adverse ways, including access to education, health, housing, employment, and economic opportunity. Additionally, we acknowledge that there is a historical and continuing negative impact on people of color through disproportionate representation in criminal justice system. As a city, we recognize and affirm that discrimination in any form is unacceptable and affirm our unanimous support of Black Lives Matter and those who are oppressed. Okay. Any comments or questions on this?
I think it's great.
Okay. Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
I appreciate it.
Could you?
I didn't hear
I'm
the
sorry.
first portion, and just at the end, I just want to make the distinction between discrimination and oppression, because what we're talking about right now is oppression and it's systematic, and you use the terminology which is discrimination, which is individual. So I definitely would expect everyone in this room individually not to discriminate against me, but it's very much important of language right now that we're talking about oppression and not individual racism.
Okay.
Yeah, the last sentence says those who are oppressed.
Right.
Yes.
And as we came in on the end, so we didn't get to hear everything, but I did hear you speak of the housing, the discrimination we go through. So I also want to know, we
Well, I
hear
got
about
a
letter.
Excuse me. How about if I read it again? How would that be?
Okay, thank you.
That way, that'll clear it up, okay? Again, this is reference Black Lives Matter to the Lawrence community. The city of Lawrence is one of a few cities in the United States that was founded on principles of freedom and acceptance. We have a long history of celebrating our commonalities as a community while recognizing and respecting the differences that contribute to our varied histories, stories, and heritage. We also wish to recognize that our local community has seen significant racial tension resulting from or contributing to incidents in Lawrence's history, which cannot be ignored as a part of a greater conversation about race relations. As the elected body for the City of Lawrence, we recognize that racism, sexism, and discrimination have affected people of color in adverse ways, including access to education, health, housing, employment, and economic opportunity. Additionally, we acknowledge that there is a historical and continuing negative impact on people of color through disproportionate representation in the criminal justice system. As a city, we recognize and affirm that discrimination in any form is unacceptable and affirm our unanimous support of Black Lives Matter and those who are oppressed. Okay? Any other questions or comments? Okay. I would entertain a motion to authorize approval and the signing by the members of the Lawrence City Commission for the letter of solidarity for Black Lives Matter.
So moved.
Second.
A motion made and second for approval and signature made by Vice Mayor Soden, seconded by Commissioner Herbert. All in favor of that motion, aye?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? That passes 5-0. Next item on the agenda is to consider approving a letter of solidarity for the Standing Rock Sioux Tribe. Okay. Bless you. And this letter is, and we have been provided also resolution number 7154, and this was one that was established, I think, back in the fall, or earlier this summer. Okay. And this was establishing Indigenous People Day in Lawrence, Kansas, as an annual reoccurring event on it's the second Monday of each October. Okay. Just so everyone's aware of that. And this is addressed to the Honorable Dave Archambault II, who is chairman of the Standing Rock Sioux Tribe. And this is in reference to the Dakota Access Pipeline, and it's dear Chairman Archambault. The City Commission of Lawrence, Kansas hereby professes its solidarity with the Standing Rock Sioux Tribe in its opposition to the Dakota Access Pipeline. Lawrence, Kansas is proud of the home of the premier tribal university in the United States, Haskell Indian Nations University, commonly known as Haskell. Haskell's student population consists of approximately 1,000 students each semester from over 130 U.S. federally recognized tribes. The Lawrence City Commission supports Haskell's vision statement to advance sovereignty, self-determination, and the inherent rights of tribes. We value the contributions of Haskell students and faculty that make to our community. We also have a number of Native American students and faculty at Kansas University, as well as local residents who contribute to the rich fabric of our community. We are deeply disappointed that the Dakota Access Pipeline is proceeding over strong objections from and without proper consultation with the Standing Rock Sioux Tribe and other indigenous nations along the pipeline's proposed route. We are saddened by reports that the pipeline has destroyed significant cultural and historical areas of the Standing Rock Sioux Tribe. Our community cares deeply about clean drinking water, not only for our people today, but for future generations. We share the concerns of your tribe that the 1,100-mile pipeline carrying over 1.5 million barrels of crude oil per day across several Midwestern states could jeopardize the precious and life-sustaining water resources of many Midwestern communities. In conclusion, the City of Lawrence, Kansas values and honors the original inhabitants of our nation's land. We wish to express our strong support of the indigenous people's opposition to the Dakota Access Pipeline. Where did the other part go? I'm sorry.
Page 2 is the signature page, Mike.
Was that was it? You didn't have it?
That's it.
Okay. And that is to be signed by the full membership of the Lawrence City Commission. Okay? Comments from the commission?
I had one comment. I noticed this morning that a judge did issue an order to stop part of the building of the pipeline, just part of it, but they did issue an order.
Okay, thank you. Is there any comments?
I want to thank you. The second letter definitely felt well thought out. I do want to bring to everyone's attention in this room, because of the methods that we had to utilize to bring about these two letters. Once again, you've allowed the marginalized to be targeted, so now we can get framed as bullies. And so in the future, what I need you guys to do is to do this on your own accord, so it can be sincere and authentic. And I do appreciate you listening and you accommodating us, but unintentionally, because I'm sure it was not your intent with your hesitation in trying to adhere to the rules and regulations that this city commission has always had to adhere to do so. But if you ever doubted that there was racism or marginalization in this community, all you have to do is read the comment sections right now.
Okay.
So I sat here and I heard what you had to say, and I appreciate you guys writing that letter after my people had to come sit down in the middle of you guys' floor last night. But now the question is, you say you support us, and you say you understand and you're aware, so what are you gonna do?
Okay?
Because y'all can write all day long, but I need to know, and the answer should have came out as soon as I asked the question, but like, what are you guys gonna do to show us that you guys support us besides the news, showing this letter all over the media tonight? Like, what are you guys gonna do? What are you guys planning? Did you guys think of that too when you wrote the letter? Because you should have known we was gonna ask that question.
I think one of the things that we have is that I think that you have our pledge that we're going to be working together on a whole lot of things. And I think that we can be held accountable that way.
And are you gonna allow us to sit down with you guys to come up with these plans?
You know, absolutely. I mean, I think one of the things that has happened over time, and especially during the night last night, you know, and I'll only speak for myself here, but I think one of the things that's happened is that, you know, a long time ago, I decided to run for this office, and the one thing that I promised that I would do, along with, I'm sure, other members of the commission, is that I would listen, and I would listen to the, you know, the folks in my community. And, you know, that I look at the action that we've taken this morning and how important that is because we are responding. We're responding to our community and the people that live in our community. And I think that that was one of the things that was important to me last night as we listened to, you know, the comments and the questions that come forward. Folks, there's going to be times, and I promise you, from the bottom of my heart, it's going to happen. There's going to be times as we look at things that go together in the future, there's going to be times we disagree. You know, there are, but there's going to be a lot of times that we are going to come up with better plans that make Florence, Kansas such a great place that, you know, that people everywhere, everybody wants to be here and be a part of it and be proud of the fact that they made it that way by working together as a group for the common goal.
I hope you keep your promise.
Yes, ma'am.
Because if you don't, you know we're coming back,
You're
right?
Not that anybody needs my introduction or anything like that, but I would like to open up the floor to the indigenous folks that are here to speak their truth if they're willing to, because I think that's the important and essential idea of intersectionality and representation. And so I know that there are folks here. Y'all don't have to come up one by one. You can come up all at the same time and speak your truth.
On behalf of myself and my tribe and heritage, I'd like to thank you guys and for the First Nations Student Association and also Haskell Indian Nations University. This is very important to us. For many years, we've felt neglected and kind of pushed aside. I mean, there's a lot of historical facts stating that. You can just go to the Haskell Cultural Center and just talk and review. I mean, there's plenty of facts and pictures and whatnot. But I'd like to thank you personally for even taking the time to do this and probably spending hours last night doing it. But it was really important to us, and I would like to just thank you.
Thank you.
My name's Kana, and I'm from Haskell, and I'm part of the Navajo tribe, which has seen significant pollution to our community and our reservation and our people. And I would just like to thank you because at home, a lot of towns around the area wouldn't do this. And just at one time in history between Haskell and Lawrence, these Native children that attended Haskell were marched down the street for a display in military style for the entertainment of the town. And coming from that to now, I think that's significant to the history of Lawrence. Having your support is significant in general between relations of the majority and the minority. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hetaya te washte lakotea oyate wawokia wi machiapi na yes washijua Sierra Tubals I machiapi. Hello everyone, my name is Sierra Tubals. Good afternoon. I am a Haskell alumna. I graduated from Haskell Indian Nations University in 2014. I'm a current MSW student at KU. And I would personally like to thank everyone that was sitting last night, especially the Black Lives Matter chapter, who invited us in solidarity with each other. Members of us came to Standing Rock in solidarity, and we just like our voices to be heard. And so, thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Hannah Whipple. I'm a member of the Standing Rock Sioux Tribe. I really want to start off by thanking you guys for doing this for us. What we're really trying to accomplish is to give our grandchildren and great-grandchildren a chance at having fresh drinking water, or a chance at life even. This may seem like a pebble in the water, but it's a great thing, honestly. Lawrence being such a big town, KU being such a prominent school, this is actually a really great thing for us. So I want to thank you guys from me and also from my tribe's behalf. Thank you.
Anyone else? Okay.
Hi, my name
Morning.
is Landry James. I'm the current president of the First Nations Student Association. I actually just missed the announcement. Is it a formal letter? Yeah. Well, thank you for that. I know a lot of, I just got done reading a lot of the comments and stuff on Facebook, and I think a lot of misunderstandings happened. I think a lot of people are thinking that we're making this a big deal, when really it was just, you know, the retaliation, you know what I mean? Like we really had to ask you guys for something like that, when I think that it should have been a little more, it should have been welcomed with open arms, just because the Missouri River, the Kansas River is like the most part of the southwestern drainage of the Missouri River, and this is like your backyard. It runs right through our city. It's not a matter of if. You guys heard this all before. It's gonna reach here in Lawrence, and you guys can use your privilege, your power, and you can provide your resources and connections that are not easily accessible to the general public to bring awareness to this threat. This is a threat to our city. This is a threat to our city, and you guys need to care. You guys need to care. This is, I cannot explain to you. I was born and raised here in Lawrence, Kansas. I was born and raised here. It has been such an honor to serve my community for the past year and a half, and to make this place a little bit easier for those people that are trying to make change in their communities and to help ourselves, because nobody else will. So please, listen to us whenever we come in here. Listen to us. We're the original inhabitants of this land. And we care about it a lot. That earthquake, that's Mother Earth talking to us. This water, we have across all indigenous nations of the world, we consider our water to be sacred. We have special ceremonies for water. Water is held extremely high in our ceremonies, and have specific, time set aside for our water. That's because it gives us life. You can't drink oil. One of the, I kind of joke around and stuff about something that my grandfather said in one of our ceremonies one time. Man, he was just crying when he was praying in there. He was crying because he can't really hunt anymore and fish because it's everywhere. These animals eat that grass and they drink that water that's going to be affected. And we eat those animals. When somebody comes to you, you guys are supposed to serve us and to listen. I did not like seeing those videos last night. Those videos from Standing Rock were very touching, very eye-opening. And it sounds cheesy, but I did almost cry watching those, because this is our reality. As Indigenous people around the world, this is what we're known for. And for it to be, man, happening right here, right now, like, it's pretty intense. It's pretty intense. But, sorry. Thank you again for,
Thank you.
thank you again.
And we do look forward to working with you at Haskell and the indigenous people of our community.
She's a
And,
KU student, though, just so.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry?
She's a KU
Oh,
student.
and I'm sorry, KU students also, but, understanding that just, you have our pledge.
I really hope so.
Thank you. Yeah, anyone else?
Ja, det beneshe ete shignasio dashijine nashkale nishlente bethrijine bashishchin zizikina de zahide nasha ahutego ostana nishlan. Something I'd like to point out is this movement is really uniting for all of us. Some of us haven't even met each other before today, but we're all willing to stand here and stand in front of you and give our words. So many of us are educated individuals going to school at KU and Haskell, and we are taking it onto ourselves to be here away from our communities and away from our families to better ourselves. And we're putting that time and energy into the city of Lawrence with our income. We work here, we go to school here, and it really seems ridiculous to me that we have to come in here and demand these things from a place that we want to be, actually. I thank you for your time and energy for putting in those letters for us. It really means a lot to the people who come from this land. So I just would like to express my appreciation for that and for the people who came here to stand behind us today.
Thank you. Okay, anyone else?
I think that today was a good step, but to remember that the way that power dynamics work is that power doesn't reach down and serve those. We have to reach up, even though it's not our job, and dismantle things so that y'all can see the humanity that we function with. And if you all don't stay in that place, if you all don't continue to check your privilege and realize that these things are essential and they have to be done in order to serve all of your community and not just the white, male, straight, wealthy here in Lawrence, then we will continue to hurt. You have to understand that you're responsible before. Let's just assume y'all didn't know nothing about what was going on 3 weeks ago. It's the first time you found out. And what we say as revolutionaries is that once you know, you can't unknow. So now you know what you're responsible for. And now you know what we need as your constituents and as people that are living, breathing, and dying. So one of the things that we need is we need the oversight board to have power and be representative of the people that are behind us. To have power and be representative of the people that are behind us. We don't need a board that looks exactly like this, trying to reach out and have people of color, indigenous folk, queer and trans folk, non-binary folk, to do all the work and then have the city swoop in and take the credit. This is not our job, but we need this oversight board to have power, to be representative, and to serve us, and to hold y'all accountable. So if that's what you're saying when you pledge these solidarity statements to us, these signed pledges, then that means that all the people that you see behind here that you have never seen before, because Lawrence likes to act like indigenous folk only exist over at Haskell and in one club at KU. You have to remember that they exist, and you have to invite people into spaces that are as safe as possible, knowing that we are never safe, but to create spaces that are not toxic. Because rhetoric is important, and I told y'all about emotional trauma and how long it lasts last night, much longer than physical trauma. We need these things from you, and I cannot ask my folks, my people, to continue to show up and be ripped apart by having to beg for our humanity. That's why we're not asking anymore. These are demands because this is our community. And we deserve every damn bit of time that y'all had to spend on that letter, every damn bit of time that y'all had to spend listening to us, and every bit moving forward and more. The thing that we understand as people here is that we're all connected and we are all family. And we serve our family. And if we're not serving our family, then we're doing an injustice, not just to this community, but as individual human beings. This is the proverbial water that we need to survive. And we're letting you know that we see it and we know that you all see it too. And so if that isn't done, you can expect us because we deserve to live.
Caleb and others, just so that you know, we did have discussion last night. Tom, it was under city manager's report and future agenda items, I guess it was, about discussions about how we are proceeding with those discussions and all the background information that is being collected and you're reviewing now through all the legal sorts of things that have to be done, just so everybody knows. Okay?
That's correct.
And that we will have it as part of one of our work sessions in the very near future. Okay?
I just want to clarify. You said that you're having discussions about how the discussions can continue?
No.
So I'm hoping I misunderstood, yeah.
I hope you did, yeah. I'm sorry. Last night, after you left, we had future agenda items where we discussed about the Fair and Impartial Policing Board and also, the Oversight Board. Mm-hmm. And the city manager had made reference to the fact that reviewing all the legalities that have to be gone through in this matter, and that we will be placing this as one of our work sessions in the near future. I can't give you a date yet, okay, because we are reviewing that, or staff is reviewing that information.
Okay. And it's Tom Marcus, right?
Correct.
Okay. So the people that are here and the narratives that are represented and the narratives that are not represented will be invited to that and will be given priority as those that are marginalized and oppressed within those conversations, so that we won't be being taught or told about what we already experience and know. Essentially what I'm saying is that we need to make sure that the voices that need to be heard are heard.
Caleb, everybody that comes to this microphone has an opportunity to be heard by this body.
Yeah,
Okay, can I say something? We're talking about work sessions
Yeah.
because I go to the University of Kansas, so when they do a diversity workshop, they invite people that come from diverse backgrounds to say if they're doing something correctly or not.
Right.
Because we know how white supremacy works. We do not want you to create your own agenda and policies and then dole them out to us. So what he's asking is, when you have these work sessions, even if you're talking about legalities, even if you're talking about things that you might not think that we can harness,
We're pretty smart.
we want to know if we're invited to ask, to tell you if you're doing it right or not.
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So we are hearing that you will follow through with inviting us to these places, because I know that the Fair and Impartial Policing meeting that we had, where they invited Black and brown members of the community to, they sent out invitations. So that's something that we're able to do as well. Correct?
Yeah. Do we have a list of everybody that is to be invited?
We can, okay, so, yeah, we'll gather that, and then the Black Lives Matter page and the Standing with Standing Rock folk and the indigenous
Okay,
folks.
if you can do that and provide that to the city manager's office, we can do that, Caleb.
Okay.
Okay?
Does that sound all right?
Certainly.
And if you
Okay.
guys could do some of your own work or reach out to other organizations that represent other marginalized identities, that would be good as well. Because this is only two marginalized identities, who probably harness a lot of other marginalized identities, but we're not talking about that right now. So if you guys are really gonna do the work, there's a whole bunch of communities that are not being talked about. Maybe invite some criminals that are getting recipients of your services. Maybe invite some poverty-stricken folks, mental health folks, LGBTQIA+, like all them need to be invited as well.
And so, and the reason why we do that is because this community will be refreshed finally, because I don't know if people understand, but we're still stuck in the 60s as far as race relations go. Things have never gotten better, they just gotten quieter. And that's why we talk about compassionate bigotry. So what you're saying to me is that you're about that life, and what we're saying is that we've been about that life. So as we partner together, as we partner together, we look forward to working with you in a place where you're recognizing the power that you have over us to silence us and oppress us, but you're telling us that you will hear and listen, and we appreciate that.
And create space,
Right.
which is very important, and I commend y'all for that.
Because the power dynamics of us having to sit on the floor while you all looked above us is real. So these are the things that we take into consideration, and we appreciate that.
Okay. Anything else?
I'm sorry, can we get copies of the statement,
Oh, yeah.
please?
Yeah, that was,
Yeah, we're gonna need a lot.
That's not signed,
It's
these
not-
aren't signed yet.
It's also, we can get you
Hey, hold
copies,
on.
but it's also available online if you go to
He needs to sign it.
lawrenceks.org and click on, it should say like City Commission Agenda. It's, both letters are attached as hyperlinks. So you could,
Cool. That's,
anybody with access to a computer can view it right now.
okay.
Caleb?
Actually, yeah, I'm telling you, as if it's not, yeah, just like, that's what it will look like.
Gotcha.
No, I don't. Just real quick, I'm glad to hear you use the word partnership, because that's what this is, and it takes members from all sides, from everybody, to move this forward.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So I said I just was glad to hear you say the word partnership, because that's what this is going to take. Everybody actively engaging fully and contributing to moving forward with this, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, and you understand that that means that y'all are gonna have to recognize the power that you play, because we've been assembled, we've been showing up, and so the reality is that the partnership is going to be either created, sustained, or broken by you all, because we've always been willing, because we've always been afflicted. So I appreciate that. Okay.
Mike, did you make a motion on the second letter?
not yet.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Just two right here.
Yeah.
We have one more.
Hi, my name is Ashley Lindsay. Some of you may be aware of my work with the community, but I serve this community 24 hours a day. I work for multiple nonprofits. I watched the stream live yesterday, and I really just wanted to say two things, because I come from a blended family. I am racially mixed and ambiguous, so I can pass. So I have that privilege. A lot of people don't. Your open disdain, Leslie, was apparent. I would really appreciate it if all of you guys would go home and just watch it. Try to remove your bias, if that's possible, or at least be aware of it, and check yourself. We need eye contact, we need acknowledgement, and we do not need you guys to look like you're bored. That it was upsetting to watch. Lisa, when they asked you to come sit with them, I saw a fire within you. I saw you consider it. I saw you want to. The worst atrocities in this world have happened because no one wanted to rock the boat. Please, can you guys not be afraid to disagree with each other? That's really all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we have an action.
I was taking notes the entire time. That's why I was writing down, because I was taking notes. I got like 5 double-sided pages, I think, from that.
Okay, the item that is before us to take an action on is to consider approving the letter of solidarity for the Standing Rock Sioux Tribe. So I would entertain a motion that we approve the letter of solidarity with Standing Rock Sioux Tribe, and also to approve that we will sign that letter individually.
So moved.
Second?
Motion made and second for approval and signature was made by Commissioner Herbert, second by Commissioner Larson. Any other questions or comments? All in favor of that motion, aye? Aye. Opposed? That passes 5-0. And is there anything else? Nope. I would entertain a motion to adjourn the September 6th, 2016 meeting.
So moved. Second.
Motion made and second to adjourn the September 6th, 2016 meeting, made by Commissioner Boley, second by Commissioner Herbert. All in favor of that motion, aye? Aye. Opposed? Passes 5-0. Thank you all very much.
Excuse me, can we get a signed copy,
Yes.
please?
We're working on it.
All right, great, thank you.